Well, we're back, and we're in our second segment of Arabic and English. And that's a strange thing. We've been actually doing a lot of strange things here with our program. Our course has really been more on the upbeat side than it has been academic. We've tried to introduce the Arabic language in a way that everybody here could enjoy it, have fun with it, and comprehend it at the same time. Now, guess what? We're going to come together with the whole thing. We're going to put all the letters together and then learn how to pronounce them, how they work together to give sound to each other, and then we're going to start putting them together to make words. So let's enjoy this second segment coming up now by starting off where we left off before with the hiccup. We talked about the hiccup. If you remember, we said Hamza. Hamza was a hiccup. Here's Hamza. There he is. Of course, he's not really that big, but I put him up there pretty big right now for you so that you get kind of an idea what he is all about. Take a look at Hamza here. Okay, that's Hamza. Usually when you see him, he's so small you barely notice him, but whenever you see him, he makes the letter hiccup like that. So if you see him in association with another letter, then you have to go like that. So for instance, let's say we had the letter Ya. That would be 2 dots below a stem. 2 dots like this below the stem is a Ya. Except when you've got this Hamza, then it would be Ya, Ya, Ya. Instead of Ya, Ya, like this. The same thing would be true if this were a Ta. Instead of Ta, you'd say Ta, 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 because of the Hamza. So the Hamza is like a hiccup. Hamza the hiccup. There he is. So whenever you see that, that's a hiccup. Also, there's another use for Hamza. Hamza has a couple of different jobs that he does. He's a little small guy, but he does some pretty good jobs. One of them is to help our friend Mr. Aleph. Do you remember Aleph? Aleph, the standing stick. Has a little leaf on there, and then he comes down something like this. You remember Aleph? That's Aleph. And I told you that Aleph could have the sound of A, U, E, or he could even have the sound of nothing. Well, the Hamza helps him out. Whenever Hamza's on the top of Aleph, it's A. But whenever Hamza is down below, underneath Aleph, let's put another Hamza down here now. See? You can't have 2 at once, so this one's going to have to leave. We're going to have to say goodbye to this Hamza. There he goes. Bye-bye. Now, this one down here gives him the sound of it. Before it was now it's it. Because when you get down here in the bottom, it's E. Below the line is E. Okay. Now, we said that there's a possibility of a U sound, because sometimes when Hamza's there, it'll have a little like this. And when you have that, that's a little wow is what it is. Remember the wow, the amazing guy? We're not through with wow, because we found out that wow does some other stuff too. Whenever wow becomes little small like this, like Hamza, he adds sounds. So this is oh, oh. That's ah. That's oh. And if it was down below, this would be it. So that gives you a little bit idea of some of the things that Hamza likes to get involved with. Now, while we're on the subject of about making these sounds, I want to show you something. Whenever you see a letter in the Arabic language, if you know the Arabic, you know by the association of other letters what kind of sound to make. But when you're like me, I'm from Texas, and I didn't study Arabic language, and so now I'm coming into the Arabic. What do? Well, they have something called tashkil, or helpers for you. The first one, we're going to put it right across the top. Whenever you see that, like that, a nice bar on an angle, like this, see that? That's called fatha. See it? And when you see that, you say ah. Ah, and you say ah because you're happy, because you've got some help. I needed help because I didn't know what to do, and now you gave me the help. Ah. Now, if you see this below the line like that, alrighty, that's not fatha. In fact, that's called kesra. And kesra is pronounced E. So that's A and that's E. And you don't have them at the same time. So we're going to take Mr. A out of there. Goodbye. There he goes. And now we've got this kesra. So this is now E. That'd be the sound of E because we have the kesra underneath it. Let's use another letter out of the Arabic alphabet. What letter would you like me to use? A noon? Oh, okay. That sounds like a good idea. Let's put a noon right there. Now, we've got our stem letter here, and we need to put the noon, because that's where the sun is at noontime. And now, if I put the kesra down below it, then I'm going to have the sound of E. And if I put the fatha above it, I'm going to have what sound? The sound of A. Let's do the kesra first. Kesra. So this becomes ni. Ni. Na. E. This is the same in English as an N and an E. Ni. Ni. Na. E. If we had a fatha over the top, like this, then instead of the E, this would be na. Na. Fatha makes the sound of A, and kesra makes the sound of E. Na. Okay. Now that was pretty easy. But let's don't forget about our amazing friend, the wow. Because if you put a wow, a small wow, over the top of a letter, then it gives you the sound of ooh. You remember we talked about that wow has an amazing thing that he does with sound. And this is one of them. He goes ooh, ooh. Sometimes he goes wah, and sometimes he goes woo. He's got three things that he does like that. Wah, and ooh, and woo. And in this case, when you put a Dhamma, he's called Dhamma when you do it like this, but you know and I know he's really Mr. Wow, but hey, don't worry about it. Dhamma above a noon becomes a nu. Nu. N-U. In English is how you would represent that. N-U. Nu. Cool? Now let's try something else. What would happen if we changed this to a ba? And the way to do that is to remove the dot from there, put the dot down below. When we go below, what happens? It's a ba sound. But then, does that change anything? Only thing it does now, it does change the first letter. So this becomes boo. Don't get scared. Boo. And don't boo me off the stage either. So this is boo because it has the Dhamma, or the wow. You knew it was a wow, didn't you? But we call him Dhamma. That's Dhamma, and that's boo.